was reading library books to my small children the other night. One was the A to Z of occupations. My 5-year-old declared that he wanted to be a robot engineer. And then he said, "Mom, what do you do?" Well, I noticed my job wasn't in the book. But I said, "Mom helps people. People come into my office and they put their thoughts and feelings onto my desk. We put these pieces together to try to make sense of them, to see the big picture. While I'm not as cool as a robot engineer, I am honored and privileged to be led into the darkest depths of people's minds and people's hearts. What a client often says to me is, this is a story I've never told anybody before. So what I see as a clinical psychosexual therapist is sexuality as part of the self that we keep hidden. And I believe we keep it hidden because we've been told to. We've been told who we should and shouldn't be in the bedroom. We've been told what we should and shouldn't do in the bedroom. The societal systems of oppression inhibit this topic from being freely discussed. We are bombarded with mixed signals, from social media to pop culture, to religion, to families and generations of family values. These messages are confusing the hell out of us. Let's put a binary gendered lens on this for a moment. Men are strong, masculine, insatiable, sexually hungry, always wanting sex, yet also empathetic, caring, hopefully a good listener, basically a strong-souled, secure figure. And in the bedroom, they're supposed to be mind readers. They're supposed to know exactly what their partner wants and when. They're also supposed to let their partner finish prior to their own orgasm, because that's good manners, isn't it? Women are supposed to be perpetually sexy and youthful, because we don't live in an ageist culture, do we? They should show their partner that they want them by initiating sex spontaneously, because this is apparently the only way it counts. We need to know how this works at all times. Want sex, but not too much or you're a slut. Be directive in the bedroom, but not too much because you're bossy. Ultimately, these mixed messages are shaping a misguided sexual belief system. If you feel like reflecting right now, hands up if you'd like more partner than your sex. More sex than your partner. Same. Ooh, bit cheapish though. Okay, have you ever been in a relationship where you wanted more sex than your partner? Okay. Are you in, or have you ever been in a relationship where your partner wanted more sex than you? Fair enough. How'd that make you feel reflecting on that? What did you think about yourself? Did the feelings unlovable, unattractive, inadequate, invisible come to mind? Would you believe not a single day goes by in my clinical practice that not at least one person tells me that's exactly how they feel? What I find is one of the individuals will feel that there's a gatekeeper to the sex. The other person will sit in shame and feelings of rejection. So if our identities are created for us, doesn't that diminish our power? Doesn't that tell us who we should be rather than who we want to be? Rather than living a sexual existence influenced by the unhelpful discourse, I'd like to introduce the idea of sexual sovereignty. The idea of not placing our sexuality in the hands of another, but rather, with radical honesty and bravery, finding the courage to be centered in our own sexuality, and to seek connection and pleasure from this position. Caveat: you don't have to be having sex to have sexual sovereignty. You could be in a sexless relationship and you can also be single. You are a sexual being. You have a sexual identity. We're all unique, imperfect, and vulnerable. These are our powers. You are a sexual being. Your likes, your dislikes, your fantasies, your eroticism, that is all yours and yours alone. If you permit yourself to be you and let go of all of the feelings of not being good enough and find your courage, it's worth it. Second caveat, sexual sovereignty is not dominance over another human being. Sovereignty is your agency, your decisions, not allowing things you don't want to happen to not happen. Your power is your agency. Your agency is your gateway to pleasure. Sexuality, power, and beliefs are all uncomfortable conversation topics. It highlights the element of shame that we all face, and my guess is, if sexuality was spoken about freely, we'd all be a lot more comfortable right now. Whilst I know this is really easy to say, you might be wondering, how can I own my power? Good question. 1. Examine your belief systems. Ask if they serve you. You can choose your beliefs, you could change your beliefs. 2. Throw out the shoulds. 3. If you're in a relationship, find the bravery and courage to talk to your partner. Tell them what you like and what you don't like. Tell them what sex means to you. And in turn, ask them. Listen with curiosity and interest rather than judgment. Finally, embrace your sexuality. Do not let another person, system, or belief confirm or deny or validate your sexual existence. This is the integral part of sexual sovereignty, is holding your power. You get to choose who and how you share your sexuality with. This message is for anyone. From those maybe at the beginning of your sexual journey to those who might be in a relationship for several decades. If we turn down the noise of the many streams influencing our sexuality and sat radically authentic and comfortable in our sexual self, would our relationship with self and our relationship with others flourish? Imagine a future world that highlights joy and pleasure, and where agency is supported and celebrated. I thank you so much.